one of the rules that we've always done in our businesses, once we got into the flow phase and then ultimately into the abundance phase, is we had a 6-month minimum rule where we have 6 months of operating expenses, not only for the business, but for our home. And we want that to be liquid cash, ready to be able to be used no matter what. There's a lot of people out there that might disagree with what I just said. They're like, well, you could take all that money and you could invest it and you're going to get 7 to 10% back or even more, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that.
No.
I want to know at the end of the day that my family's taken care of, that if I wake up tomorrow and I can't work, if I get sick, if an emergency happens, that they have time to figure things out.
Yep.
Okay? So going from flow to abundance, you change your mindset again and you go, how do I plan for my future, for myself, but also for my family? So in the abundance phase, I want you to write this down. What do you spend your money on? Okay. What do you actually start spending your money on during the abundance phase? You spend your money on things that help you buy back your time. All right. You have to buy back your time. So Vince just said, buy investments. Yes, the first investment to buy is your time. Then you can buy the financial investments. Mm-hmm. So here's where I go with buying back your time. Ask yourself right now that, do you have a team that can do your whole business for you? Do you have a team for your home? Like, let's think about vendors for our home for a second, Lauren. Who do we have? I mean, I'm not out there cutting grass.
No.
My grass would be I'd have the worst lawn on the block if I had to take care of it myself.
But you have the most beautiful lawn on the block.
How is that possible? Aren't we busy?
Yeah, we've got a lawn care team. We got a pool team. We've got house maintenance people. We've got painters. We've got AC guys. We've got a list, right? Mm-hmm. And then on top of that is we have Mr. Sean, who has the contacts for all of these lists. So then we don't even have to be the ones that call them.
Yeah. So who's Mr. Sean? Sean is our assistant. And it's like the bougiest thing that I could ever say as a man. I have an assistant. But here's the thing. Like, I'll just give you a real life example, kind of a look into our lives right now. We didn't have an assistant when we were broke.
No.
We didn't have an assistant when we were in the flow of climbing out of that hole and kind of rebuilding. We didn't have an assistant until the abundance phase because we were buying back our time. So like, what is he doing today? He's making sure our vehicles are cleaned up. Mm-hmm. I bought a grappling dummy for the kids that's probably going to take like 2 hours to put stuffing into the grappling dummy. I don't have 2 hours to do that, but at the end of the day, I want that grappling dummy filled with stuffing so that Leo and Carson can train on it, right? He unboxes Amazon orders.
And breaks down the boxes so
recycles
that I don't
the boxes.
Have to.
Yeah. We order everything now. Like, all of our groceries get delivered. We order everything from Amazon. Like, I feel so socially awkward walking into a grocery store, a Walmart, a Home Depot.
It's kind of nice that we have this studio then in our house, so we don't even have to leave the house. My bedroom is just on the other side of that wall right there.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We're not saying that we're too good for that.
No.
We are saying that we are also in grind mode at this new next level. And we've told many of you that we're revamping curriculum. We're planning for new events. We're launching things. So to be in grind mode, we have to be fiercely protective of our time.
Yes.
Well, how do we buy our time back? We buy our time back with a team, right? So we have a nanny. Mm-hmm. She's with the kiddos. She drops them off at school every morning.
Yep.
So how does this help us? When the work day is over, I have 100% freedom and permission to focus on Lauren and to also focus on my kiddos. So it eliminates that fatherly and that spousal guilt that I'm ignoring my family. Mm-hmm. I had to be able to buy my time back in that regard. Here's another thing. The book called Who, Not How. If you have read Who, Not How, type yes in the chat section. If you have not read that book.
Coach Ann was like, me. Oh, I'll write it down.
Yes. If you have not read that book, I encourage you to read it immediately. Get it on Amazon or Audible right now.
Yes.
Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy.
So good.
Wrote that. They co-authored
good.
it. It's fantastic.
Yes.
If you have read that book and you feel like you're not maximizing your time the best to your ability, read it again and have an honest conversation with yourself on what you need to fix.
Yes.
Okay. again, we start talking about the abundance phase. The abundance phase allows you to be the CEOs and leaders that you truly are, because now your focus is primarily on your team to support them, to make sure that they are successful, so that you can manage them, so that they can help grow the business and save you time. This is where you can start paying off all of your vehicles. You can pay off any of the credit cards that you've had, any lines of credit that you can have. Stop making the bank rich. You will get to a point where you don't need to continuously buy things for your business. Once you have the equipment, once you have the mats, once you have the mirrors, once you have your after-school program vehicles, and those things are paid off, you don't have to keep buying them again. You know, it might be 10, 15 years before you need another bus or van to replace a current one, right? So this is where you start to see this shift happen, where now it's like a tipping point occurs where even more money's coming in and you're keeping more of it. Mm-hmm. That's why you buy back your time. So to answer Kevin's question about why is credit important at this point, well, let's say that all of the sudden you want to open up a second location. And instead of leasing the location, you want to buy it. Let's think about this. I'm going to pull out my calculator. Can somebody give me an average, like what are you guys paying for rent right now for your martial arts studios, your dance schools? What are you guys paying? Let's get a couple people out there. I'm just curious. 6K, 1,800, 2,400, 3,500, 5,500, yeah. 44, 6.8, yeah. So I'm going to use just kind of 3,500 as just like a simple kind of median example. Mm-hmm. I'm going to multiply that by 12. So you're spending $42,000 a year that goes back to your landlord, and we're going to multiply that by 60 months, which is 42,000 times... I'm sorry, times 5. 5 years, I meant to say. All right, so that's $210,000. So Kevin, this answers your question. I don't want you to pay $210,000 to be in a building for 5 years. I would much rather you be able to have awesome credit, right? So credit is important in this example because you have to use your personal credit in addition to your business credit to be able to qualify for a commercial loan. So next thing you know, you expand into a second location or a third location. And like many of you guys have done already that's on this call, now instead of having the mindset that a lot of people in our industry have of let me find the best lease, now you guys are having the mindset of let me find the best deal to buy this building. So that $210,000 that you just gave to your landlord over the last 5 years, that $210,000, a lot of it went to go pay down the principal of your building. So you're basically taking $210,000 and you're shifting it into the building. And then one day when you go to sell that building, you get it all back and probably even more, even more.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that when you're looking at paying off any type of mortgage, whether it's for your business or for your home, and this is something that, you know, we were really strategic about when it comes to those bigger type investments, is anything that is extra. We were intentional about making that mid-month payment and literally calling the mortgage company going, I want 100% of this to go to principal.
Yep.
Right? Because you have your minimums that you're going to have to make that is for, you know, interest and insurance and all that other stuff, right? But if you call them in the middle of the month and you go, hey, this is only this, you're going to see that debt go And so like how we were talking about before with like the cost of homes, if you're financing a home and you buy it for X amount, it actually ends up costing you in the long run this amount. Now, mind you, when it comes to mortgages, home values, real estate, it goes up in value. Like that's just the nature of it. It might, you know, go like this a little bit, but eventually you're going to end up on top, right?
Absolutely.
So just making sure that you are still being intentional with that. We did have a question that came through from Andrew. He said, so to be clear, would you prioritize the personal debt, like your credit cards, to be paid before the 6-month reserve on for the account to be created? So this is what I'll say with that. When you're looking at like Dave Ramsey, he talks about like the baby steps, right? And one of the first baby steps is saving that $1,000, right? So we still want you to be able to have it, but you want to set aside the time to make sure that you're prioritizing paying off the debt, but still being able to build your savings at the same time. So again, this isn't something that you're going to be able to do right away. follow the baby steps in it, I'm an advocate for Dave Ramsey's stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I wish we would have read it when we were trying to get ourselves out of this.
like, we were already on the other side of it by the time we even found the book. And I'm like, man, this would have been really helpful like 5 years ago.
It would have sped up. Have you guys ever watched like a YouTube video and you watch it on like 2 times the speed, or you're listening to Audible and you listen to it 2 times the speed? That book would have 2x'd our journey.
100%.
We had to figure it out the hard way. That's
Yes.
how we've kind of done everything in our lives.